Joe Davis here. Man, crazy times, huh? You look at the calendar, this should have been a three-way series game tonight. Opening day obviously would have been Thursday, and it's surreal, right? What we're all going through. But we figured, while there are obviously much more serious things in the world, a lot of times sports can provide a bit of a distraction. We figured with this void in sports right now, we do our best to give you some distraction, and we're going to do over the next few weeks and the coming months, or however long this goes, try and give you some content to provide that distraction. So it's not just me today. I promise there's plenty more going on. Orel Hershiser, my buddy in Vegas, say hello.
Hey, Joe. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. All the Dodger fans out there. These are not good times at all, but yeah, we want to bring you some happiness and some joy and keep you up to date on what's happening in the Dodger world.
Stan Kasten, President and CEO, is with us. Hi, Stan.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Orel. It's good to be here with you guys. It's almost like being at the ballpark. Not quite, but almost that good.
And we also have Santa Claus with us, coming from the North Pole, Andrew Friedman, the President of Baseball Operations. Hi, Andrew.
All right, you guys. Thanks for having me on. I guess we'll get into this, but a conundrum I have is that I was going to shave on opening day. And now with that a little bit of a moving target, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do.
This could get tricky. So that said, Stan, I remember, and this was not that long ago. This feels like it was like 6 years ago at this point. But I remember seeing you at spring training like 3 weeks ago, and it was the day that they had really issued the first kind of mandates: no shaking hands, no signing autographs. And you and I talked about it like, okay, let's just be careful. I'm sure we're fine. It is amazing how fast things have moved from that day to where we are now.
You're right. I remember talking to the team about it, and all of us were a little skeptical. Are we overreacting? Are we over-preparing? And some of the players were skeptical too. I spent my whole career talking to players about the importance of autographs, talking about the importance of reaching out to fans. And now I was having, for the first time in my career, to tell them, no, we can't do autographs. That's what the CDC and the WHO is telling us. We can't be exchanging things between people we don't know. We have to keep our distance. So we were all a little skeptical still, as recently as 3 weeks ago. And now, how much has the world changed, where we all know the importance of social distancing, and everyone who watches this needs to know that the more we social distance now, the quicker we will play games. And so we can all pitch in together to get our games back soon. But you're right, Joe, there's been an awful lot that has happened in a very short amount of time.
Andrew, for you, we go from being careful for the fans and for the players to an abrupt stoppage. What's going on in your life, and how are you communicating with the players, and what are they doing?
Yeah, there's obviously a lot to that, and we're communicating with our players and trying to come up with kind of remote workout plans and trying to keep guys connected. And our guys are really highly motivated, and so it's not as much a concern as it is just keeping everyone connected as much as we can. And Brandon McDaniel, Travis Smith are kind of doing that through some of our workout plans the guys are doing in their own respective houses right now. We're not even thinking right now about throwing programs. Kind of a deload period is how we're thinking about it. And as things start to crystallize, and things are changing by the day, as things start to crystallize, we'll start putting that in motion.
The question, I guess, that everybody has and nobody has the answer to, Stan, is like, how long is this going to go? When are we going to have baseball? And when we do, what is that going to look like?
Stan, that's a good question.
Well, you can include me in that group of nobodies who knows the answer. We're on conference calls every day. I just left one with the commissioner an hour ago. I think we all kind of see a light at the end of the tunnel in terms of the virus and the risks. I don't know how long that will be, but people in the health community see a path to get there. But I don't know when that will be. I can tell you that as soon as it is safe, we will play. I also believe, because I have been through shortened seasons before, I think once we start playing, the quality of the game won't change. The quality of the experience at the stadium won't change. It'll be just as much fun as ever. I don't know when that will be, but I have reason to believe we're going to have a substantial season. And let's all keep our fingers crossed that that happens.
Do you anticipate that before there's games as we picture them, that there will be fans or games with no fans in the stands?
I don't know. That's one of those other unknowns. We will follow whatever the guidance is of LA County or our state or the CDC and WHO. As I said, we have been in constant touch with all of those people. We have been absolutely compliant with all the directives from all of the health agencies as well as with MLB. And MLB has spent a fair amount of time on behalf of all of us weighing in with all the national authorities. So I guess that's a possibility. It's just too early to tell because we just don't know.
Andrew, this is Orel. The thing that's going on with the players, the deloading, isn't it a new form of competition, like understanding how long it's going to take guys to get ready and what to do with them? So the organization prepared as far as like you're talking about with communication and planning of getting a starting pitcher ready compared to getting a reliever ready compared to getting a regular ready.
Yeah, and like we kind of touched on, this is very surreal times and, things that are way bigger and more important than the game. But using this time as we are self-isolating and doing our small part, each respective person involved is all doing their own, kind of small part here to get us back as a world, as a country, operating in a more normal manner. Taking this time and, having an organization with strong relationships and, communication tools and things set up that we can get a little bit of a head start, because every week that spring training goes on is obviously fewer major league games that are played. And so doing that as quickly as we can to get ready for the season, I think is in everyone's best interest. And using this time as smart and as wisely as we can puts us in a better position to do that, be ready when the bell does ring, and also keeping our guys and putting our guys in the best position to stay healthy.
Andrew, in a hypothetical, just so say they say July 1st, completely hypothetical. July 1st is going to be opening day. What kind of spring training, like second edition of spring training, do you think we're looking at leading up to that?
Wait, can I jump in before
Yeah.
Andrew says something? Because in talking with the commissioner and the health authorities, they think it's really important for us to not speculate on those things because different people have different guesses, and we would be misleading fans if we convinced them that one opinion is right and one is wrong. So yeah, by all means, Andrew, talk about the process, but let's preface this by saying we just don't know, Joe. We just don't know. Andrew?
Yeah, and I think from our standpoint, and Orel, you alluded to it, for our position players and for our relievers, I think it is going to be easier to get them up to speed and ready to go. It's our starters that it's a little bit more challenging, and the fact of it is an unknown of when we're going to start, so you can't even work backwards, to a date. So you don't want to be too aggressive on the front end. You also don't want to be too passive, and so it's trying to find, strike that right chord for right now. And as we're continuing to learn more, to do as much as we can to get our starters, back to, getting off the mound and doing things like that. But that's the group that we're most focused and, kind of acutely aware of. And that's going to be where a lot of our attention is spent. And I think, it's going to take a little bit of time. And ideally, we can do some of that even before we, get back together formally.
Stan, on a positive note, things that the fans have to look forward to once baseball's coming back. What's going on there at Dodger Stadium? And I know things have slowed down, but there's a lot of good things happening.
Yeah, we all of us have spent the last year, and certainly this offseason, just waiting for the new additions to the stadium, the renovation, the center field renovation. I'd say all the field-facing stuff, like the seating and the drink rails and the bar and all of that stuff is ready to go, would have been ready to go for our first game Thursday. We still have stuff in the plaza that is being filled in right now. And yes, it has slowed down. Some crews are smaller than others, but we are, and everyone is fully compliant with all of the regulations, again, of the county, city, and state, as well as the CDC and WHO. All of those things are super important to all of us, but consistent with all of that guidance, the work is continuing. And as we've been saying from the start, not only are we going to have a lot of cool new spaces, but we're going to have bars and restaurants and new food offerings that we haven't even announced yet that I think are pretty exciting. New vendors coming in that have never been in the stadium before. We're going to have history displays, and we're going to have batting cages, pitching machines, and stuff for kids. And it's just super cool space. Cool space to hang out, cool space to come before the game, cool space to hang out after the game. It's going to make the stadium all of us love. The stadium that I have always maintained is the most beautiful stadium ever built to play or watch the game of baseball. It's going to still be that, only better with more amenities for a true 21st century experience.
It's going to be great, and we're actually back there, and we're looking out at that view you're talking about, the best view in baseball. Hopefully it's not going to be long, but Stan, just a message you want to leave the fans with, and we're going to do this often. We're going to check in with you guys as much as we can, but right now, what would you like to tell the fans?
Well, first of all, I hope the next time we talk, I actually know something. So let's consider this a trial run, because they'll be way better when I actually know something about what we're going to do. But we are going to do this to kind of keep you informed. All of the questions you have, most of them, we just don't have answers to yet. That's the truth. And until we know when our season will start, how long our season will be, we can't decide many of these other issues. But as of this morning, we feel that there is a path to playing again. I don't know when exactly, but in consultation with the health and medical experts, there is a path. There is a time when we will get past the peak danger of this virus and be able to go out to the ballpark again. And as you know, for all of us, the sooner the better.
And
Andrew, anything for you guys?
On this video, sensitive thing right now.
Yeah, we came into spring training obviously incredibly optimistic and with really high hopes, and this kind of short detour right now is something that we all have some control over how quickly we get back to normalcy. And so I think all of us chipping in and doing our part, and then setting it up for us to get back on the field in 2020, because we are extremely optimistic that there's some great things ahead.
Orel, I know we can't wait, can we?
No, we can't wait. And you know what? Winning has followed these two guys with the Thrashers and the Hawks and the Braves and the Nats, and now the Dodgers with Stan, and then with Tampa Bay and Andrew's professional career before that. So when we get baseball going, we're in great hands. I'm so excited to get back at it and watch these guys do their thing, and then we get to do our thing and talk about it.
Hey, Joe, can I say one last thing before we leave?
Please.
The last time baseball had a long shutdown, it was basically because of Orel Hershiser. The game was shut down as they start the end of our season. And Orel and I have a unique history.
Yes, we do.
During that time, and maybe the next time we can talk about that stuff just to amuse us.
That would be fun.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah,
it's really good to know that Stan can turn the page, because he hired me here with the Dodgers, even with our past.
All right. Yeah, we can't wait. There's a great cliffhanger, great teaser for the next episode. Like we mentioned, we're going to do as much as we can to stay connected with you fans. So check out all the digital pages, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And Orel, maybe a little teaser here. Maybe you and I should do a podcast. What do you think?
Whoa!
Definitely want to do a podcast. I want to join your generation.
All right. Hey, we got a seat waiting for you. Can't wait for it.
All right.
Stay safe, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this, and we will talk to you guys again soon.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right.